Let's begin child's pose. Separate your knees nice and wide. Let your big toes come together. Yeah, or start on your back if you're not feeling it. Either way, take a couple cycles of breath to just kind of get yourself going here. So Ujjayi breath is the recommendation. Inhale through the nose, through the back of the throat. Exhale through the nose. So sometimes you get on your mat, you got a lot going on. Sometimes we don't have a lot going on. Wherever you are, whatever kind of space you feel like holding for yourself today, allow that. If you're in child's pose, run a lot more energy through your arms so you begin to anchor, and there's a lift of your forearms up off the ground. And then just take a second to kind of like wiggle your seat a little bit further back. Sometimes when you do that, you can find that you create more space from the lower spine all the way through. Good.
Make sure I'm not.
Yeah, the whole like.
No, I muted you. It's okay. Child's pose. Yeah. Hey, good morning. Press up onto all fours, tabletop position. So when you go to tabletop position, scoot your hands in for me so they're directly underneath the shoulders. Curl the toes into the mat. I find this a little bit more comfortable. Stack the body. Curl the right toes into the mat. Activate the back right leg. This is kind of like a half supported plank. Engage the navel of the back of the spine. So think simple little movements this morning as we move through the practice. Fire up the sides of your triceps. Feel the hands press firmly down. Float your right leg up so it's hip height. Do everything in little steps. Slide your left arm forward. If you kind of go for the full shebang all at once, you end up falling on your face. So reach and stretch across your body. And my recommendation this morning for your focal point, also known as your dristi, is just to look to the front edge. That's the appropriate neck extension. Make sure that you're not opening your hip. You're keeping your hip squared. Reach a little more. Yeah, just find some space right here in your body. Take another big breath in. Release the hand and the knee to the floor. Curl the left toes, fire up the thigh. Just pause for a second. Just find some support. Your pelvic floor, neutral, everything nice and neutral. Float the leg up, just hip height. Flex the foot, slide your right arm forward. Keep your neck nice and neutral. And just breathe across your body right here. Fire up a little more. Your palm is facing, it's facing towards you. So you want to find nice healthy extension through the shoulder blade. Keep the neck nice and long. Reach a little more. Fire up from your thigh bone and your hamstring. Yeah. Hand and knee down. Curl the toes into the mat. Come up to a down dog. I like to take my hands a tiny bit wider. Come up slowly with your knees bent. So I'm going to really slowly lift up. And then I may need to walk my feet back a little to get a longer position for my downward facing dog. Downward facing dog is taking up almost the whole length of my mat, just to give you an idea. If you have a very long mat, then that would be an incorrect cue. Yeah. And don't be afraid when you get to your down dog to kind of play around. Maybe you want to pedal out your feet. Yeah, maybe you want to bend your knees a lot or a little bit. Let your head go. They call it wagging your tail. And then feel your hands press really firmly down. Your thumb, your index finger, your baby finger. Looks really good, Julie. Let your shoulders move away from the center line of your body. And then wrap your outer arms in. Let your head just be free. Spread your toes wide. And just take a few breaths just to let your body adapt, your mind settle into the practice. Sometimes you feel racy, maybe you've had too much coffee, maybe not enough. Roll forward plank, stack your body right here so you're aligned nicely. So you could modify, drop your knees if it's too much. Yeah. The feeling you want is you're kind of like moving your chest through your arms in a sense. It's a funny sensation, like your chest through your arms, but you could move your shoulders away. Plug down to create more space. Yeah. Nice. And if it just, you don't want to work that hard, your knees can just drop. We're holding plank this morning. Yeah. You're holding plank. The screen didn't freeze. You're still holding. Contract the thighs, rock more weight forward. Good. Stay with it. Another big breath in. Bend your elbows in half or just hold here if you're not into a push-up right now. Halfway down to a chaturanga or drop your knees for supported chaturanga. Drag your chest to an up dog or a baby cobra. If lower back is sensitive, you can opt out. Pull your chest through your body, keep your neck long, and point your toes a lot. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Do it again, roll forward plank, stack your body right here. Slow push up, bend your elbows. You can just hold plank too. You can also drop your knees. You're holding push up position though. Draw your belly in. Lead with your chest for a nice up dog. Press to the tops of the feet. Feel the hands press firm. From your hips up and back, downward facing dog. Good. Walk your hands back to your feet. Grab onto the big toes. Bend your knees a lot, almost like a shelf. Inhale your breath, look forward, let your shoulders slide down your back. You're gonna open your elbows, you're gonna let your head go, and you're gonna fold. So if you're like me, my hamstrings don't just wanna open, I have to bend my legs a lot. It's almost like creating a shelf for your stomach to rest on. If you have a tremendous amount of space between your upper torso and your thighs, you're gonna go right into your low back. So I'd almost rather say, bend your knees and create leverage for yourself. Let your head go. And then one more thing, rock your weight forward into the balls of your feet. So your hips move up, your head hangs down. Let go of that bound, the toes, plant your palms, and keeping your feet really anchored, a slow creep out back to downward facing dog. Obviously the heels will probably pop up off the ground at some point, but come back down dog. And then one more time, roll forward plank. See if you feel any difference in your energy level. Bend your elbows in half, or maybe just angrier. Pull your chest through an up dog. No angry yoga today. Happy yoga. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Plant your palms down and start to creep your feet up to your hands. See if you can do it slow. When your feet get up there, keep them hips width distance. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Hands can always rest on your shins. You know that. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up. Drag the hands to prayer at heart. Decide if you want to practice with feet hips width or your feet together, you pick. Arms sweep up, just a few sun A's. Exhale, fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. That's to help you prepare. Plant your palms, 2 big steps to get you back. Yeah, bend your elbows in half for a slow push-up. Try and slow it down. Drag yourself through an up dog. Anchor through the tops of the feet. Press through the hands. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. So really focusing on slowing it down and linking breath with movement so you can really appropriately warm up this morning. Press down through your hands. Look where you want to go. You can take 2 big steps to get to the top. If you feel bouncy, you can hop. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up again. Drag it to prayer at heart center. Stand tall. Sweep the arms up. Look up a little with your eyes. Dive again over bent knees. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms. Step to plank. If you're just stepping this morning, alternate your steps. So it's not always the same leg going back. Bend your elbows in half. Pull yourself through an up dog. Point your toes. Hips up and back, downward facing. Let your head go. Breathe your hips up off your shoulders. Create space for yourself. Look where you want to go. Step, or float to the top. Alternate your stepping though. Long spine. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. Again, slide the arms up, look up. Dive again over bent knees. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Plant your palms, 2 big steps, or a light float back to Chaturanga. If not, you just lower slow. Up dog opens you. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more, look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine, make it effortless. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come up. Drag it to prayer at heart center. Drop your arms. Again, arms up. Dive again over bent knees. Let your breath just flow. Long spine to prepare. Step or float through your vinyasa. You can skip the push-ups too. You can just go to a down dog. So make the practice work this morning. Good. In your downward facing dog, lift your right leg up, hip height. Just hip height. Breathe a lot of energy into your right inner thigh and draw your left hip back. So what we don't want happening is all of our weight moving to our left side. Plug down. Keep the shoulders squared forward. Let your head go. Keeping the lift of the leg, do this slow and do the best that you can. Start to walk your hands back. Walk them back, walk them back. Get them as far back as you can. Don't let the leg drop. Standing split, fingertips just tented. You can always move those blocks with you and slide them back. Soften the shoulders down the back and draw the navel to the front of the left thigh. Keep lifting the inner thigh. If you want more this morning, bend your right knee in half, flex the foot. Reach with your left hand, grab your ankle. This is not for everybody. Some of us are just gonna stay with the leg bent or even just lift it. Some of us are reaching and grabbing our ankle, keeping the right hand down on the ground. Keep drawing your torso down. Let the head go. 2 more breaths. Soften behind your left knee so you're not just jamming into the hamstring of the joint behind the knee. Release the hand around the foot if you took it. Re-extend the leg if you bent it. Walk the hands back out to a 3-legged downward facing dog. Please try and do this slow. I'll wait for you all. Point your right toes. Roll forward to plank. Hug your knee to your navel. Straight in. Look forward. Arms are straight up and down. Slide your right foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot strong. Grab onto somewhere on the front of the right shin. We're moving into triangle from the side, body lifting. If you're newer to my class, I always recommend using a block. Place it to the outside of the calf if you need a little bit more. Good. Or just grab somewhere on the shin. If you're suffering with lower back pain, I'd rather you be up really high. This is an example. Give yourself permission to make these poses however they need to be. Just they need to be aligned, but back out. Yeah. Grip your outer hips in. Find a lot of length through your side body and let your arms slide up and down. Look up with your eyes. So it's not a back bend. It's actually a little bit more of a twist through your upper torso. So your bottom right ribs have to turn towards the ceiling, or if you're practicing outside, the sky. Lighten the load of your right hand. Stay with me. Look down. Circle both hands to frame your right foot. Peel your left heel. Walk your right foot to the right. Turn your right foot out about 2 inches. So your right foot's going to turn. Mine's going to my fireplace, only about 2 inches. So just pointing to the corner edge of the mat. Left hand down or slide a block. Peel your right arm open. So as your right foot turns out, don't let your foot roll. Keep the foot grounded. Hug your right hip in. It's just a little different this morning. If it's not into it, you're not into it, just keep it normal. Stack the 2 shoulders. Grip the hips in and press through the whole right foot. Good. From above the belly button, we twist. Back leg strong. Good. Look down. Left palm's going to go flat. We're going to move into a side plank or a side plank with a tree because the leg is almost set up for it. You can also drop your bottom knee down and take this modified or supported. Bottom knee down or top arm up and top leg in tree, or stack the feet normally, regular side plank. Some variation of side plank. Lift up out of your bottom hip. Lift a little higher. Plank position. However you got there, plank position. Meet us. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward facing, drag you through. Point your toes. All those happy smiling faces. Hips up and back, downward facing. Good, so just lift your left leg up. Just lift that up, hip height, that's it. Breathe from your inner thigh and feel your right hip grip in. So start to walk your hands slowly back. I know we get excited in these types of transitions, but just take your time. Walk yourself back. Maybe bring the blocks with you. Come to your fingertips. Let your head go. Just do that much first. Your right leg is like Tadasana. You're gripping your hip in. Your back leg is strong, almost like you would be in a warrior 3. Bend at your knee crease if you want more. Just do this much. This may be where you stop. Reach with your right hand so you can get hold of your ankle, but you're not opening the hip stays squared. My left fingertips are tented and I'm folding over my front leg. Let the head go, relax the jaw, relax the face, fix the eyes. If you grabbed your ankle, let go, bring the right hand back down. Re-straighten the leg if you bent it. Plant your palms and slowly start to creep back out to a downward facing dog with the leg lifted. Don't let the leg drop. Down dog with the 3-legged dog. Point the left toes, roll forward, hug your left knee in. Squeeze it in tight, stack the body nicely. Your arms are straight up and down. Look forward a little, broaden across the upper shoulders, take it in a little closer. Land your left foot forward and through, turn your back foot strong, and from the ground up, triangle. So listen, if you get here and you're like, this doesn't feel great for me, you can always pull up and rearrange the feet. Hand on your shin, right arm up, stack the 2 shoulders. Grip the outer hips in and make sure you're not getting sloppy and dumping down. I'm gonna stay facing this way so you can see in the next part how the foot needs to turn out if you got confused. Lift up out of your waist, look up with your eyes. Hug your outer hips in rather than just going into the pose. Two more. Look down, circle the hands to frame your front foot. Widen the stance, which means walk your left foot out. So take your left toes and turn them out. They're pointing to the front corner edge of the mat. I'm gonna use my block here. It's gonna go down like an easy twist. Rather than rolling all my weight, I'm gonna keep hugging that weight in and keep the big toe down, left arm up. It's just a little subtle difference. Try it out. If you're not into it, you don't do it. You should feel here, piriformis and outer hip. Grip in, so you're just not dropping into the joint. Stack the 2 shoulders, very nice work. Breathe. Look down, move the block out of the way if you don't need it, right hand down. Start to roll into your variation of side plank. If you can go into a tree, that may feel good. Stack the 2 arms, lift up from your bottom hip. Modification, you can just drop your knee down, such as this. This is a great place to be. Lift from the bottom hip and make sure you're not opening your top hip, straight up. 2 more. Lift a little higher. Let go of any binds that you have or tree plank position. Bend your elbows, chaturanga or skip it. Upward facing, point. Hips up and back, downward facing. Step your right foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior 1. If you're anti-warrior 1, you can take crescent lunge. Yes, left ribs, left thigh must turn forward. Arms energetically reach. So you want your torso and your hips moving forward. That's the goal. Great. Now you pick. Your hands can come like in a prayer like this, straight up, or they can just be separated. Hands to the floor, chaturanga, or right to a dog. Upward facing, point the toes. Hips up and back, downward facing. Land the left foot forward. Turn the back foot strong. Unless you're opting for crescent, sweep the arms up and straight up, or hands can come to this prayer that's kind of off-centered. Wrap the right thigh and the right ribs forward, sit deeper. And then feel your breath. Hands to the floor, Chaturanga. Upward facing point. Hips up and back, downward facing dog, let your head go. Deep breath in, loud sigh, exhale, breath out. Look where you want to go, step or float, feet to the top. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit into chair pose, the most exciting posture. Sit deep into chair, weight moves into your heels. If your shoulders feel stuck today, your arms can always be by your side body, your thumbs can be in your hip points. Anything works here. Press up to a standing position, drag the hands to prayer, drop your arms. 3 sun Bs together, stretch the arms up, sit again into a chair. Dive over those bent knees, forward fold, then you straighten the legs. Long spine on the inhale, plant your palms, step to plank or float to a chaturanga. Upward facing point, hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior 1. Good, hands come down, plank position, vinyasa or not. When you get to your down dog is when you immediately step your left foot forward, trying to build some momentum. Warrior 1 or crescent. Bring it back down to the floor, plank position. Chaturanga. Upward facing point, press to the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Loud sigh breath out. You're doing great. Lift your hips, Mary, a little higher towards the furniture. Yeah. Look where you want to go, guys. Step or float your feet to the top. Nice, Kristen. Long spine on the inhale, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit again into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Remind yourself that you can take chair with your feet separated. Stick your butt mark way back. Yes, and if you're struggling with the arms, just drop them down by your side body and look forward. I know I'm a pain in the butt. Look forward. Press up to stand. Press all the way up to stand. Drag it to heart. Drop your arms. They don't get old. Stretch the arms up. Look up. Yeah, sit again into a chair. Weight moves into your heels. That looks better. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Long spine to prepare. Exhale the breath. Step or float to a chaturanga. Move through your up dog if you're taking them. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior 1. So we're just moving and grooving here. Get out of your own way. It's called a yoga practice, not yoga perfect. Hands to the floor, vinyasa. If I'm moving too fast for you, you slow it down. Upward facing. Hips up and back, downward facing. Left foot lands, back foot strong, warrior 1. Come on up. Hands to the floor, vinyasa. Or right to a dog. Meet me in a downward facing dog. Some of your dogs are already there waiting for you. Yes. One more. Look where you want to land. Float or step your feet to the top. It's up to you. Sometimes it's more like a crawl. Long spine, weight stays forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into chair. Dig the weight into the heels. Move the energy back. Look forward. Press up to a stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Last one. Here we go. Slide the arms up. Sit again into chair. Sit deeper. You got nothing to lose. Dive over bent knees, forward fold, then straighten those legs. Long spine to prepare. Exhale the breath. Step or float through your vinyasa. When you get to your down dog, land your right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior 1. Good. Hands to the floor, plank. Chaturanga. Upward facing. Hips up and back. Downward facing. One more. Left foot forward, back foot strong. Warrior 1. Nice. Everyone's alignment looks good. Hands to the floor, plank. Bend your elbows in half for that nice chaturanga. Upward facing anchor. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a loud breath out. Good, look in between your hands, land your right foot smack in between, turn your back foot strong and cartwheel yourself into warrior two. Nothing fancy about this transition, just come up to warrior two. Yeah, look at your arrangement with your feet, make sure they're not all over the place. Yeah. Good, and just settle in for a few breaths, and then we're gonna add on here. Stack your body. You want your torso straight up and down, inner right thigh rolling open, yeah, towards the baby toe, and arms spread wide. Guys, try this with your arms. Knuckle your hands, like this is your sternum, so just do this. Knuckle your hands, inhale your breath. On the exhale breath, open your arms, spread your palms wide with your thumbs up. Give just as much energy through your right arm as your left, so equal energy here. Then sit deeper. Back leg strong, lengthen the tailbone. Good, look forward. Take your right toes, pick them up, turn them to the right an inch. They're only gonna go about an inch. It's gonna feel funny to a lot of you. It may not even actually turn out for some of you that feel like you're tighter in your outer hips. So see what you can find. Good, reach across your body, rest your arm on your thigh, or slide your hand to the outside. So the foot is turned out a little bit, and I'm gonna use a block. Slide the left arm up. If you don't dig these little adjustments, these little changes, don't do them. Slide the left arm up and forward if you want a little more. Press the outer part of your right leg against the inside of your right arm. Grip your right hip underneath you and turn your bottom ribs from right to left. Slide the left leg and the left arm, really stretch it forward and then look up. Use the strength of your left arm. Stretch it straight up, pull back up, warrior two. Warrior two. Pick up your right toes, straighten out your foot. Sit a little deeper. Go again, hand to the outside of the foot, left arm up. See if you feel a subtle difference. Yep. Grip the hip underneath you. Keep that right foot forward. So at this point, the foot is not turned at all. Look down, float into a half moon. Grip that hip underneath you and slide the left arm up. Straight up. If balance is rocky, hand to your hip. You can even look for a flattish type wall in your house and lean against it. Your bottom ribs turn up, your left arm slides up. Now, bend your left leg in half, reach around, grab your ankle for Shavasana if this is available for you. If it's not available to you, then, don't do it. Bottom ribs turn. Soften behind your right knee. And if you fall out, welcome to the practice. Look up. If you bound, release, regular half moon. Keep that right foot forward, look down, square your hips. Slide the feet together, sit into chair. Weight in your heels. Move that energy all the way back. Slide the hands to prayer, inhale the breath, hook the elbow and turn to the right. This is one of those poses that I'm like, I get excited when I can kind of get it out of the way on the earliest side, right? So dig in deep, create some extra space this morning. And if you feel that you want to open your arms and go a little deeper, that's great. But if your chest collapses and your upper torso starts to cave down, back out. Watch that the left side of the body doesn't wrap forward. Keep the even distribution of the weight in your heels. Lengthen the tailbone so that flat part is moving back and the crown of the head is going forward. Strong in the legs, everyone. You're doing great. Pull around to chair. Lower all the way down for boat Navasana with the hands flat. Take the hands flat, bend your knees to a 90-degree angle. Focus on lifting your torso, broadening your collarbones. Hands can be flat or tented. You can even slide blocks under them. Keep drawing your thighs towards your belly. Good. Lower to Ardha Navasana. You can hover your feet and scoop out your belly. The shoulder blades lift, the gaze goes up. You can be up higher, 90-degree angle. This is better if the low back is sensitive. Find a spot that works. Keep the hands down, scoop out the belly. Press the hands firmly down. Fire up the sides of the triceps. Flex your toes. Keep the hands down. Navasana, keep the palms down. Bend your knees, lift your torso. Ardha Navasana, hover. Look up towards the sky, everyone. Scoop out your belly. Navasana, come up. Cross your ankles any which way. Step or float through a vinyasa. Or just go to a down dog. It may feel good to take the up dog though. Hips up and back, downward facing. From your downward facing dog this morning, just land your left foot forward. Yeah, and circle open, warrior two. Warrior two. Take a second to arrange your feet. Yeah. And then try that. Try like knuckling your hands together towards your sternum. Lengthen the sides of your body. Inhale your breath. And then on the exhale breath, see if you can open a little wider. Yeah, it's just like a subtle little thing. Thumbs up, palms facing you. Close your eyes and just breathe. Notice where you hold your energy, your tension. Right. Hold the space for yourself right here. Sit a little deeper. Keep your arms up and down like this. Lift up your toes. Turn them to the left an inch or two. Once again, it may not go that far. Reach out with your left arm. Rest it on your thigh to start, right arm up. If you feel that you can go down and take the block to the outside, so there's going to be a space between the outer heel and the block because the foot is pointed out. Be on the fingertips and then slide your right arm straight up. Give it a whirl. Grip your hip underneath you. Turn the bottom ribs. Soften the shoulder down the back. Wrap the bottom ribs up towards the sky. Press strong to the blade of your right foot. Two more. Crown of the head is moving forward. Press through your feet, right arm up. Without too much bounce, pull up to this funky warrior two. Warrior two. Pick up your toes, straighten out your foot. It's only like an inch or two movement. Now you're in a regular warrior two. The left foot is forward. Reach out with the left hand. Try it again. Extended side angle egg. Just a breath or two. With this version, stretch the right arm straight up. Back of the left thigh resting on the inside of the left arm. So there's no gap there. Look down, keep the left foot forward, float up to half moon. Arrange your block in a position that you know is going to be helpful. Highest is going to be the easiest. Good. Enough out in front of you that your waist stays long. We're in half moon, Ardha Chandrasana. Go against a wall if your balance is struggling. Lift from the inner thigh, only hip height. Stack the two arms up and down and then look up. If you want to add the bind, bend at your knee crease, reach back, grab your ankle and start to kick. Bottom ribs turn and then you look up. Reminding you, the true Chopasana, the kick goes behind you. So my foot is moving towards my fireplace rather than up. If I went up, I'm going to go real into my lower back, which we don't want to do. Stay with it. If you took a bind, just release into a regular variation of half moon and meet us there. Eyes go to floor, right hand down, square your hips first, land your feet together at the top of the mat. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels. Strong chair. Hands to prayer at heart, inhale that breath, hook the elbow, turn to the left. When you turn to the left, just check in with your feet and your knees that your whole right side isn't turning with you. Get in there. Yeah. This can always be taken with your feet hips width and a block in between your thighs. Yes, if low back is sore. Open up your arms. If it feels good and you want more, try it out. Keep the strong legs. You got this. Pull around to chair. Commit to chair. Sit deeper in chair. Drop your seat a little lower. Stretch your arms up a little higher. Look up with your eyes. Stay in the chair. Shoot up to stand. Drag your hands to prayer. Stand tall. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Stay as you are. I'm just turning so you can see. Left leg strong. Right leg is going to come up into tree pose. You can just stay facing forward. I'm just turning towards you so I can see all your beautiful Zoom boxes. Yeah. Tree pose. So my tree is up higher. By all means, tree can look like this. No one cares. Grip your hips underneath you though. You don't want to wing out and you want to really square yourself up. Hands in prayer at heart. Turn your fingers forward a little. Good. Then grow the branches of the trees. Today, mine are going to be out like this. Kind of like a big V. If you have that space, try it. And then if you want to challenge yourself this morning, maybe start to close your eyes or look up with your eyes. And then in the imperfections of this pose makes a pose. So if you fall out, it's okay. Keep the lift of the upper arms like this. Don't move them right now. Start to float your right foot away from your thigh, such as this. Point your toes down towards the ground. It's just a little movement. Envision lifting your right thigh so high, it's going to touch the underneath part of your right arm. It's not going to, but just envision. So lift it a little higher, give it a little more energy. Hips don't move at all. They're staying in the same position as tree. Stretch the arms straight up. Swing the right leg forward. Arms are up. Leg is forward and the knee is bent in half. The leg is bent in half. Now, keep the arms up. Keep the left arm up and just drop your right arm down. So it looks like this. Slide the right thigh back, flex the foot. So my thighs are touching one another and my right foot is energetically kicking towards the fireplace that has appeared to gone out. So reach with your right hand, grab the outer ankle. Pause. Just do this. Straight up and down with your body. Straight up and down with your body. I'll turn so you can see. Straight up and down. Flex your foot strong into your hand. Let your shoulders slide down your back. Straight up and down. Give your right foot and your right hand a little energy. Then take your body forward 2 inches. This is the pose today. I want you to really stay strong and fire up and kick strong into your right hand. Get over going deep. Yes, stay very upright in your torso. Keep your 2 knees together. You got it. Just stand up straight and bend your leg. Pull your torso up. Nice, Kristen. Drop your right foot down to meet your left and stand tall. So it's a little movement, guys. It's not a big, full dancer pose. Okay, stand on your right leg. Let's try the other side. Stand strong. Just do this part first. Tree pose. Hands to prayer. Sometimes I find the little movements are so much more rewarding. Ground and grip your hips in. Bring your hands to prayer to start. Fix your eyes. Then if you want to grow those branches, open up your arms like a strong V. Wrap those triceps in. Lift to the core, lift to the navel, coiling in of the ribs. Stay with it. We're holding a little longer. So keep the lift of everything. Keep plugging down. Start to float the foot steadily away from the thigh. The hips don't change at all. It's still like tree. Now lift the left thigh closer to the bottom left arm. Just envision lifting it higher. Really good, Julie. Hold. Wrap the leg forward. Bring your arms up. Pause. Keep the right arm up. Drop the left arm right by the side body. Slide the left thigh back so it matches the right thigh. Flex the foot. This may be as far as you go. Reach up with the right arm. Grab the left hand around the left ankle. Stand tall. Just do this much. So stand tall, grab the ankle, flex the foot. Give your left hand and your left foot like equal energy as you start to kick and fire up the thigh, like 2-3 inches, that's it. Then bring your body down 2-3 inches at most. Very little movement. The knees stay together, they don't wing apart. You're staying very upright. You're firing up your thigh, your glute. You're getting a lot of energy moving. Very nice, Nancy. Hold there. Perfect, Kristen. Flex the foot more. Nice. Pull up to center. Lower the foot. Stand tall. Good. Nice work. Slide the arms straight up towards the sky. Look up. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through vinyasa. Pull yourself through a great up dog. Hips up and back, downward facing. Right foot forward, crescent lunge. I was taking my teacher's class the other day and he called crescent lunge and I realized that I was cooking my turkey and I needed to take the cover off the turkey. So my mom told me for the last 30 minutes, the turkey needs to get brown. And I'm in the crescent lunge and I'm like, oh my God, I have to go now. Do I wait for crescent lunge to be over? I waited to the right side and I went in between, hands to prayer, in between the crescent lunges. Inhale the breath, hook the elbow, turn to the right. These are the issues we have with practicing at home. Back leg strong. Crescent lunge with a twist. Here we are. Lean back a little. Crown of the head is going to line up with your back foot. Squeeze your right hip underneath you and activate your back left leg. Open up your arms if you want a little more here, or just stay. Grow through the back leg, sit deeper into your front foot. Last 3 breaths, I know. Look down, place both hands to the floor, drop your knee, say gosh. Curl the toes under here, keep the thigh in an angle. Come to your fingertips. Turn your right foot out, as we've been practicing the whole class. Turn it out just an inch or 2 to the right corner of the mat. You may need a block, so you can place it to the instep of the foot like this. Left palm down. Right arm's gonna reach back. This may be as far as you go. Moving on, kick the foot in, grab your ankle, stay very upright. So now you're gonna roll to the outer blade. I'm gonna let you lift your big toe up. So if you don't need the block, the hand goes down. Roll to the outer blade. Let your right thigh drop open. If you want more, left forearm can come down to the ground. Now you can begin to twist open, or you can start to wrap your right shoulder down and think more humble warrior as your right thigh opens. 5 breaths. Keep rolling to the blade of the outer part of that right foot and letting your right thigh drop open. Give a lot of energy to your backhand too. Let go of your foot. Take the right hand down, straighten out your front leg. Move your block with you, please. Straighten out your right leg. It's like a runner's lunge. Pause. So now your left knee is straight up and down. Your toes can be curled if that's more comfortable. The foot can be flat. Either way works. Your tented fingertips, and you're just breathing into your front right leg. Pull your chest through your body. Last little bit of work on this side. Use the block. Place it any direction that you need. It's going to go right underneath that shoulder, right arm up. So it's like a twisting triangle with the knee down. Flex the foot strong. Now for the last little bit of this, if you want, let your right foot turn open. Try it out. Stack the 2 shoulders and twist. Make sure you're in your left, the alignment of your left shoulder, not dumping down. Good. Straighten out your right foot, look down. Both hands down to the ground. Rebend the leg, curl the toes into the mat, step to a downward facing dog. If you need a vinyasa, take it. I'm gonna pass this time around. Slide your left foot forward. Activate your back leg, crescent lunge. Stay with me. Hands to prayer. Inhale your breath, hook the elbow, turn to the left. You don't want to just go down and drop down. You want to lengthen up and then lean back a little. Yeah, crown of the head moves forward and it lines up with your back right heel. Open up your arms if you want more, or stay as you are. Grip your left hip underneath you, scissor the inner thighs together, twist open. Three more. Look down, place both hands to the floor, drop your back knee, pause. Make sure your back knee is on an angle. Turn your left foot out 2 or 3 inches. Take your block with you if you know you need it. Your hand should be directly underneath your shoulder or your palm flat. Do that much first. Reach back with your left arm. Let your left foot drop open. So this time you're letting it roll open. Reach back, grab your ankle, get hold of the ankle. If you can't grab the ankle, don't do that part. Roll to the outer blade. Let your left thigh drop open. Drop down to your forearm if you want more, or slide a block underneath your hand. So if you're right here, this is fine. Let the thigh drop open. This is going to give you a completely different hip opener. And then look back with your eyes. Last little bit. Relax the foot, uncurl the toes, straighten out the front leg, move the block with you, and then straighten your leg like a runner stretch. Just straight up and down with your right leg as you flex your foot. Breathe into the meaty part of your hamstring. So use this block here, stack it underneath your right shoulder, and peel open this way. So play with where the block needs to be because you need it to be directly underneath the shoulder. Scissor the outer thighs in. Then if you want a little more, turn the left toes out subtly towards the left, an inch or 2. Good. I'd rather you stay up higher and twist deeper. Look down, both hands frame the front leg, left toes go straight up and down now. Move your block forward. Rebend the left leg, back leg strong. Step to a plank, plank position. Drop down to your forearms for forearm plank. This is where we would go upside down. So if you want to go upside down, you want to go to a wall, you want to work your feet up and take dolphin. The next 60 seconds, we're working strong here. So you can drop your knees, you can take the supported. I'll show you different options. This is cool, this works. Or you can work dolphin, you can work handstand if you want to go near a wall. Just make sure you're not on a balcony. Press your hands down firm, let your head go. Good. If you're up in dolphin, maybe lifting one leg independently and then the other leg. Lengthen your tailbone more, Kristen. Drop your hips 2 inches lower. Keep going. There you go. Last 5 breaths. If you went upside down, meet us in a forearm plank. Yeah, meet us in a forearm plank. For the last 3, forearm plank. For 2, forearm plank. 1, lower all the way to your belly for Sphinx pose. Walk your arms out a little further. Spread your palms wide. Separate your feet from me so they're about hips width distance. And press the tops of the feet strong into the mat. Pull your chest through your body. This is a great pose, guys, for anybody with kids who get anxious. You can put them here. You can slide a prop, a pillow, just a bedroom pillow underneath the space where my torso and the back of my triceps are. And just let them watch TV like this because it's a back bend that opens up the front line and it's very subtle. Just breathe right here. Feel like you're moving the mat closer to you and stretch the legs back further. So you're going to lower your forehead to the ground and you're going to take your arms such as this. You're going to take the 2 forearms on top and you're going to rest your forehead on them. If you want to grab onto opposite elbows, that's fine. So creating a little box for your head to rest in. Anchor the tops of the feet. Keep them hips width distance. Keep the forearms resting on the forehead. Take a giant breath in with the legs strong. Lift the upper torso and the arms up off the ground. So your arms are clasped around you're grabbing opposite elbows. Your forearms are stacked and they're resting on your forehead and you're lifting up. Stretch your legs back, lift up a little higher. Exhale the breath, lower down. So do it the other way now. Just switch the direction that your forearms are. So one arm is now in front of the other arm. Grab onto opposite elbows. Bring your forehead down to your forearms. Keep it there. Don't separate it. Take a big breath in. On the exhale breath, lift the forehead and the forearms glued together up. Stretch through the legs, strong. Lift a little higher. Keep the legs down. Exhale the breath, lower down. Good. Slide your arms forward and your seat back. Come to a child's pose just for a moment. Press up onto all fours, downward facing dog. One more time today. So not a long hold this morning. Slide your right knee forward for half pigeon. I'm going to get you onto your back in just a moment. But just half pigeon, like 30 seconds on each side. We did a whole bunch of hip opening. Let your torso drape down and just melt. Stay in the trance, just switch sides. Just go to the other side. Just press through a dog or a tabletop. And feed the left leg forward. There you go. And make it feel just right. Top of the thigh should stay down. You shouldn't be rolling to one side. Good. Use the strength of your body. Try and stay in the yoga trance, as I like to call it. Push yourself up, swing the legs forward, and then lay down on your backs. Move your blocks with you if you know you need them for back bending, or if you just prefer it. When you come down onto your back, bend your knees. Yeah, get your feet so they're about hips width distance, and then slide your fingertips straight back. This is a good way, because it's hard for me to give you verbal cues. It's hard to see everyone. When your fingertips reach straight back, they should touch the backs of the heels. This gives you an idea that you're set up okay. From here, lift your tailbone up and slide your arms, kind of cup and shimmy the shoulders under. Interlace the hands, press the arms down, and then lift from the tailbone up. So traditional bridge, or if you prefer a block underneath your low back at this point, you can place it any direction. This is the low direction, the medium, or the high is going to give you the most opening. This is a very restorative but invigorating way to take a back bend. Yeah. If you know you want to move on and experiment with full wheel, you can come down for a breath, or you can work from here. Flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. We want to avoid coming to the crown of our head and like putting all of our weight there. So tuck your chin, and on the exhale breath, lift up. When you get up, steer your feet forward. If you're just on a block and you want to experiment with lifting the legs, one independently or both up, that will mimic legs up the wall to release lactic acid. So find something that you can play around with here for the next 30 seconds. If you went up into full wheel, you can come back down, take a breath, rest for a second, and then reset and go one more time. If your legs are up, just stay. I'll let you know when to come down. So when you come up into a full wheel, you want to lengthen from the tailbone to the backs of the knees, feeling like you don't want to feel like you're pressing from your low back. So if your legs are up, bend them in half, take the feet back down to the ground, get them flat to the floor first, And then remove the block from underneath you. And then lower your back down. Take your feet the width of the mat and let your knees knock in. Good. Feet wide, knees together like a little mountain. Drag them a little closer to you. Drop your legs over to the left, just like this, because they're kind of split apart. Your left ankle can slide on top of your right thigh, such as this, and your arms can kind of cactus out to keep you rooted. It's a little spine twist with an ankle to knee type of hip opener. Come up to center. Take your feet wide. We'll try it on the other side. Lift your hips up an inch to the left. Drop them over to the right. So my right knee is higher than my left, and then my right ankle has the room to come on top of my left thigh, kind of like ankle to knee. And then both shoulder blades stay down. I take a little twist, opening up the hips as well. Come up to center. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Give them a giant squeeze in. And then slide yourself and set yourself up for Shavasana. If you have two blocks and you want to slide them underneath the backs of the thighs, this is wonderful. The feet can flop open. Let your body just kind of flop into the floor. If you don't have any blocks, just find comfort, find relaxation. Just rest. Take a big breath in. At the top of the breath, hold the breath, and then exhale fully out. If you need to stay down here and just rest a little longer, do so. If you need to re-enter, hug your knees to your chest, move with ease and kindness in your body because you just did all this work. And then bring yourself up to a seated position or however you're most comfortable to finish off your practice. Sit up really tall. Close your eyes for a second. And just feel the difference in your energy, hopefully better. Let the hands move to a prayer. Bow your head for a moment. Have gratitude for yourself, for all that we have. Lift the head, open the eyes. Namaste, everyone. Thanks for joining me. Really nice, strong practice this morning. Good work. See you soon.